Hi, this is Alfozia Nihar from At Home Tuition. Welcome to our session today. The topic that we are going to discuss in our session today is surface area and volume of cube and cuboid. Cube and cuboid. Shapes like the cuboid have always fascinated us. Those that can easily be drawn on notebooks and papers. That is, the 2D figures give the basic idea of shapes. What about the solid shapes like the cuboid? When we talk of solid shape, we refer to the 3D outline of any basic shape like cubes, cuboid and many. From rectangles to squares, the 3D counterparts like cube and cuboid of both give us a different figure of calculation. Let us see how. When you look around the room in your house, can you see anything that has a shape of a rectangular box? Maybe furniture, book or a TV. This shape is cuboid. Ice cubes, dice, Rubik cube are all the examples of a cuboid. Let us find the surface area, volume of cuboids and cubes. Okay, let us start with the cube. What is a cube? The cube is a 3D structure which is formed when 6 identical squares bind to each other in an enclosed form. A cube generally has 6 faces. You can imagine a die, 12 edges and 8 vertices. When a number is multiplied by itself 3 times, then the formed is a cube number. For example, a times a times a, which is nothing but a cube. For example, you can take 3 times 3 times 3, which is equal to 27. So this is called the cube number. 27 is a cube number. Volume of a cube is length times breadth times height. Since in a cube length, breadth and height are equal, the sides can be represented as, I'm going to represent this as a. So therefore volume would be a times a, which is equal to a cube, where a is the measurement of each side of a cube. Hence the volume of a cube of side 1 centimeter will be equal to 1 times 1 times 1, which is nothing but 1 cube. So volume of a cube of side 1 centimeter will be equal to 1 centimeter cube. One should also be handy about the properties of a cube numbers. Cubes of a positive number are always positive. Cubes of a negative number are also always negative. Let me take an example. Let us see what is the cube of a positive number 4. Cube is multiplying by itself again and again, so it would be positive times positive is positive, positive times positive is positive. So 4 times 4 and 16 times 4, which is nothing but 64 with a positive sign. Same way when you take a negative number, so cube of this negative number would become negative times negative is positive, positive times negative is negative, so we will get negative 64 here. Here is a set of cubes of natural numbers. So 1 cube. I have given you the cubes from 1 to 10. Numerical value obtained after cubing any given number is called a perfect cube. Cubes of even numbers are always even and cubes of odd numbers are always odd. From this list you can understand that even. I'll just highlight all the even numbers. Yeah. So cubes of all the even numbers are always even here, and we are getting cubes of all odd numbers are all odd. Cubes of a positive numbers are always positive, cubes of negative numbers are also always negative, cubes of even numbers are always even, cubes of odd numbers are always odd. Now let us see what is the surface area of cuboid. Before delving into the concept of surface areas and volumes of cube and cuboid, it is essential that we learn to make them. A cuboid is nothing but 3-dimensional representation of a rectangle, while a cube is the 3-dimensional representation of a square. Am I right? Okay. Cuboid is an assemblage of rectangular pieces. Similarly, a cube is an assemblage of square-shaped pieces as length, breadth and height. Now I'll show you how this would look like when opened. This figure shows that a cuboid is made up of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So 6 rectangles where L, B, H are the edges of the cuboid. Area of these 6 rectangles in consecutive order form from 1 to 6, or we can use the area of a rectangle formula. So for each number, I have mentioned the numbers, area formula would be this. So when we sum up all the areas, we get the surface area of the cuboid. So L times H is twice, L times B is twice, B times H is twice. So if we sum up all the areas, I'm just adding all, taking the common factor 2 outside. So the surface area of a cuboid can be, hope you are clear this formula. Same way, let us see what is the surface area of a cube. So what is a cube? A cube is the 3D representation of a square and has all equal sides. The length, breadth, height in a cube are the same and termed as sides S. If S is each side of the cube, then the surface area of the cube would be 2 times, very similar to cuboid. So area of each of the square is side times sides. So side for the second square, for the third square. So it would be S square plus S square plus S square, which is nothing but 3S square. 2 times 3 is 6. Therefore the surface area of a cube is 6S square. Hope you are clear so far. Now let us see what is the lateral surface area of a cuboid. The lateral surface area of a cuboid is the area of only 4 rectangles. Since we know that a cuboid is teamed up by 6 rectangles, finding the area of only 4 gives us the lateral surface. So the lateral surface area of a cuboid would be area of the rectangle 1, 2, 3, 4. You can refer the figure that I have shown you with 6 rectangles. Okay, so each of the rectangle formula would be L into H, B into H, L into H and B into H, which is nothing but 2 times LH plus 2 times BH. If we take the common factor 2H out, you'll be left over with L and B. So 2H times L plus B. So the lateral surface area of a cuboid is 2H times L plus B. Now let us see what is the lateral surface area of cube. Similar is the case with a cube. The area of 4 constituting squares will give us the lateral surface area of a cube. This is how a cube would look like if you open up this. The area of the 4 squares. So the lateral surface area of a cube shall be, square area formula is S square. So do the same thing for squares 1, 2, 3 and 4. Which is nothing but S square added for 4 times, so which is equal to 4S square. Therefore the lateral surface area of a cube is 4S square. Hope you're clear with this one. Okay, now let us see volumes. Every object occupies space. The measurement of this occupied space is called the volume of that object. The object may be solid or hollow. In case if it is a solid one, then the space occupied by the solid objects is its volume. In case of hollow object, we know that such object is filled with either air or a liquid. So if you are asked to find the volume of a hollow object, we intended to calculate the space occupied by the air or a liquid in such object. Hope you understand the difference between the solid object and a hollow object now. The volume that fills this hollow object is said to be the capacity of that object or container. You can take any real life example. Therefore, volume is nothing but the space occupied by the object, while the capacity is the volume of any substance that the object can accommodate inside it. Now let's see what is the volume of a cuboid. For understanding the volume of a cuboid, we need to first understand the area of a rectangle, since cuboids are the combination of rectangular planes stacked over each other. Hope you remember the figure I have mentioned at the starting of the session. The height up to which these rectangular planes are stacked helps us find the volume of the whole structure. We know the area of a rectangle. Area of a rectangle is length times breadth. Now since a few rectangular planes are stacked upwards to form a 3-dimensional rectangular structure, the volume of the object is base area times height. So the volume of the object would be space occupied by the cuboid, which is nothing but base area times height. So volume would be, base area is denoted by A and height is denoted by H. We know that area is length times breadth, so that would be equal to length times breadth times height. So this is the volume of the cuboid. Now let us see what is the volume of a cube. As already said, that cube is the combination of squares. As the sides in a cube are equal, the volume of the cube is base area of a square times side, where the base area is S square. S square times S is S cube. We use the cubic unit as units to symbolize the volume of an object. Therefore, the volume of the cube V is S cube. Hope you understand the derivation of the formula for the surface area, lateral surface area and volume of cube and cuboid. In our next session, we can discuss the problems based on these. Hope you are clear with the derivation. See you in the next